snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I am here today to do a very quick December TBR. I have lots of very exciting books planned for December. I'm also doing some buddy reads and some rereads, which I don't usually do. So I'm very excited, and let's get started. The first book that I'm going to be reading, I don't actually have my copy yet, it is on the way to me, is the Northern Lights reread, or His Dark Materials trilogy reread. The edition that I'm getting is the Everyman edition because I already own these books, but I wanted a really nice edition because I know I'm going to love them because I loved them when I first read them. So I'm very excited to reread these and hopefully really enjoy them again. I know that Jen and Holly, who are the ones who are hosting this read-along, love these books and they've reread them multiple times. I've never reread them, but I know that I'm going to love them because I remember loving the actual books when I read them way back. So super excited for that. It's by Philip Pullman and it's one of the best sort of children's series that I've ever come across. I just think it's wonderful. So really excited to read that one again with them. The next two are buddy reads. The first one that I will be buddy reading is Scarlet Types. This is by David Hare. It is the second one in the Moontide Quartet series, and I'm going to be reading this one with Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book. We both read the first one and really loved it, so very excited to read the second one. Hopefully it will be just as good. I cannot wait to read this. It is chunky. Most of the books I read are, but I'm really in love with the cover of this and I really love the series so far, so I hope it's going to be just excellent, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing where the story is going to go because it was all very dramatic at the ending of the last one and I really wanted to move on to the next one straight away, so I'm happy that I'm getting to this quite quickly after finishing the first. Another one that is a continuation of the series is Calibans War by James S.A. Corey. I'm going to be reading this with James, whose channel I'll link below, and I'm very excited to get back into this. I actually watched the first episode of the Expanse series TV show that was released free online on the Sci-Fi channel, so I watched that and I was very intrigued about what's going to happen, and I liked it, so I'm hopeful that this will be exciting and good. I really liked the first one. I think I gave it 4 stars, so hopefully this one will get better. I've heard the second one is better, and I don't read enough sci-fi, so I'm happy that I've got some sci-fi going into December. Should be good. Then I have a few books that I'm carrying over into December because I didn't quite finish them in November. The first one of those is Witches of Lichford by Paul Cornell. I might actually finish this today, which will mean that I finish it in November because today is the last day of November, but even so, if I don't, then I thought I would include it anyway. It will be in my December wrap-up either way. So this is by Paul Cornell and it's a short story, like really short novella sort of length. It's only 140 pages. It's part of the Tor novella range that they brought out. Really enjoying this so far. Never read anything by Paul Cornell, but I might be picking up something else by him if this continues in the same way that it started. I'm on page 50, which is about a third of the way through, so I should finish it today, and I think it's really interesting, so I'll definitely be doing some reviews of these as I finish them. The next one that I'm carrying over is a monster. That is Toll the Hounds, which is the 8th Malazan book. This is by Stephen Erickson. I'm about a third of the way into this at the moment. It's huge, it's taking me forever, it's very slow. I still like it because I think that the characters who we're meeting again in this are some of my favourites. Like we've got Cropperback, which I love all his scenes. So it's a monster. I basically had to extend this to 2 months in my buddy reading route because it is just humongous. And there was no way I was going to finish it in November, but hopefully I will finish it in December. I really want to, and then I'll be very close to the end of the Malazan series, which is really exciting. So yeah, can't wait to get on with this one and hopefully finish it in the first few weeks of December rather than right at the end. Fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. The next one that I have that I'm carrying over is an ARC. This is Hexed by Thomas Old Huvent. This was sent to me very kindly by Hot Escape, and it is a horror book from what I know of it. I am on page 55, so I am not that far into it yet. The problem with these is that I don't like horror. I really enjoy the writing style of this one though. I think it's really well written, but I don't like reading horror, and I mostly read at night, and I don't read horror books at night because then I will have nightmares. So I need to just find some time in the day to read this, but seeing as it'll be Christmas holidays soon, I'll definitely get through this a bit later in the month once I break up from uni. I am really enjoying this though, which is weird because I wasn't anticipating enjoying it, so if it continues as it began, I'll hopefully still enjoy the rest of it. Next is a book that I intended to get to last month but really didn't, and that is The Dreadworm by Miles Cameron. I am so excited to get to this. I've heard from Michael that it's amazing, so I need to get to it, and I'm definitely going to in December. It's the third book in the series, so I can't really say a whole lot about what it is, but I just really, really loved the first one. Thought the second one was brilliant as well. I'm sure the third one is going to be good, and I think there's 5 in the series, hopefully, so this one only just came out very recently, so hopefully it will be awesome. I'm sure it will. If Michael liked it, I'm sure I will like it too, and I'm very excited to see where the story goes and what the characters will be doing next. Another one that I will be carrying over is The Just City by Jo Walton. This one is a book about the Just City, which is a city that was theorised by Plato. It's a strange story so far. I did this as a buddy read, and everyone I was reading it with finished it way before me because I ended up not having this book with me for a couple of weeks because I was down south doing my work experience, which was very unexpected. So didn't have this book at the time, and I was supposed to be buddy reading it at the same time, but it didn't happen. I don't know about this one because I've heard very, very poor things from Mercedes and from Alicia, who did actually finish this, and I don't think anyone else has finished it from the buddy read we were doing, so I am almost halfway, just under halfway through this. I think it's alright so far. It is my first Jo Walton, and I know that Mercedes absolutely loved Among Others, but didn't like this at all, so I'm really intrigued about how I'm going to feel once I finish this. I do want to finish it because it's not like really boring, but it is a little bit in your face with some of the ideas that it's trying to get across, so I will have a review for you when I finish this one, and you guys can let me know what you thought of it as well. But yeah, it's an interesting one so far, interesting concepts, but not necessarily a great story so far. Next, I have 2 that I will be reading on my Kindle because that's where I have them. The first one is a buddy read, and that is Prince of Fools by Mark Lawrence. I'm very excited to be getting to this series at last because I finished the other series by him quite a while ago. I'm going to be reading this with, I think, Sam from Novels and Nonsense, Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book, Connor from Connor O'Brien, and Che from Che Adventures. I think that's everyone. If it's not, I'll link them all below. I actually love Mark Lawrence's writing style. He writes really, really brutal, nasty books with horrible things going on, but he writes in a beautiful way, so I'm excited to try this one out. Hopefully I will really like it, and then if I do, I will go on to the next book in the series at some point early next year. The next one that I will be reading digitally is actually one that I will be hosting a buddy read for. This is going to be my read of the month for my buddy reading group on Goodreads, which is always linked down below, so if you want to go and check that out, then please feel free to. In December, we will be reading Dune by Frank Herbert, which I'm very excited about because I was intending to join in with Dune in June when Paul from Common Touch Fantasy was doing that way back in June, and I didn't have time, so very excited to do December Dune instead. Hopefully it will be a lot of fun. I hope that everyone gets involved, and it's a pretty chunky book. It's a pretty long book from what I remember, so I'm very excited to give it a go and sort of have a lot of other people taking part and commenting as well, so that should be really, really fun. Very excited for that. And then, possibly the most exciting book of all of them is this one, which I only picked up fairly recently and haven't actually shown you guys, but I do own it. It is the new illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling, illustrated by Jim Kay. It is incredible, as I'm sure you will all agree. The illustrations are phenomenal. I've had a flick through. I haven't read it yet, but I've had a flick through, and oh my gosh, it's really heavy as well. I am so excited about this. Mercedes and I are going to be buddy reading all of the Harry Potters back to back in the month of December. So it's going to be a lot of reading, but I'm really excited because I've never actually sat and just reread them all in one sitting. Well, not in one sitting, in 1 month. So it should be really, really fun to do that. Hoping that this will give me like a whole new experience having the new illustrations alongside the text. I'm sure it will. And I'm definitely really, really excited about this. I kind of want to dive into this now, but I've been resisting until the 15th, which is when we're going to start. So hopefully we will love this. I'm sure I know we're going to love this. I don't even need to worry about this because I know I'm going to love it, and I'm very, very excited to read this and then all 6 of the other ones as well. So yeah, there'll be a lot of reading Harry Potter, but I will be reviewing them hopefully as well. And then we have 2 that I totally forgot to mention because I don't actually have them with me. They're actually at home. The first of them is Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and the next one is Quicksilver, which is by Neil Stevenson. They're both somewhat long, particularly the Stevenson books, so I'm not sure if I'll get through it all. So I will also be reading those too, I just forgot to mention them. So that is everything that I'm planning on reading in December. It is quite a lot of chunky books, but I think I can do it if I have more time, which I will over the Christmas holidays, and I think it'll be a load of fun. So I would love to hear in the comments if you guys have any suggestions on which books to start with, or if you have any that you've read and really enjoyed, then let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat.